want to make sure that I acknowledge the sponsor of the show, Tiege Hanley, because Tiege Hanley sent me this new pack. They sent me the new Tiege pack, so I just literally pulled the paper out, got it out of the mail, and I started going through it, and I got a little bit more excited than I should. You know what I'm saying? So they did send me the Tiege pack, and I don't even know what this is yet. So I'm assuming this is what you get when you first order your Tiege, and I don't know what this is. Oh, this is dope. This is absolutely dope. Is this a nail kit? Ladies, get this for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. This is free. This just comes with it. 30% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Literally. Oh, snaps. I didn't know that they were sending it like this. Real talk. So this is the nail kit that they sending you. All right. So now you ain't looking like a dusty. This is a free gift straight from Tiege for the people that ordered the Tiege. They got the small one for the little hands like mine's. They got the big joints for your toenails. And then they got the joints at the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? For y'all that's a little bit more crustier than usual. All right. So that's one of the free gifts that Tiege got inside of the pack. And then what is this? Says squeeze a quarter size amount of Tiege Hanley body wash on the center of the wet bristles. Lather, scrub, rinse, and repeat for the perfectly satisfying wash every time. So that's inside of there also, right? Ooh, I can get my rubber ducky on right here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege for sending me that uncomplicated skincare for men. And then what we got in here? We got the actual Tiege pack, right? So this is the normal Tiege pack, but then they gave me the supersized joint for the people. They wanted me to show the people exactly what they got when they ordered that first Tiege pack, when you're getting your 30% off your first order, and then you get your free gifts. You get 2 free gifts, and then the 20% off for life. So the 20% off for life is a new thing. And, dang, I ain't even got my keys on me to open this up. Maybe I can use the little nail clipper thing. I ain't got to buy no nail clipper for my new joint downtown. And then you get all of the washes, all of the scrubs, all of the AM, the PMs, and all of that stuff. So you got the whole thing inside of there for you to make sure you take care of yourself. But you got to make sure you take care of it every day, right? We don't want to miss days. We don't want to be looking like dusties. It does not absolve you from being able to make sure that you brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. It don't fix the teeth problem. Don't fix you ironing your clothes. Don't fix you being able to take care of your business. But it absolutely makes sure that your skin is phenomenal, even when you're going between shaves. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiege Hanley. We absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to hold us down. I might do an official Tiege commercial, but I like just talking authentically to the people. I like giving the people the authentic look of what it is that you're dealing with, and I want you to hear from me personally, because anybody can do that little pitch and they can make some little videos, but very few of us can actually speak to the products of exactly what it is that you're supposed to use. So yeah, Tiege Hanley, 30% off your first order, and then 20% off for life. That's the Anton Daniels pack, 20% off for life. Using any other Tiege pack, make sure that you go ahead and let that go. And make sure you tap into the link that's in the description and take care of it, all right? What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, though? What up? What up? I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for continuing to rock with me. I want to make sure that I add as much value as I possibly can. What up, friends and family? How y'all feel? Lots of announcements going on today. I want to dig into this whole Paul Whelan, Evan, freeing the prisoners. We want to go through quick hits and some stuff we got to tackle on that front. I want to get Trump's reaction. I'm going to give you my thoughts. And I gave y'all my thoughts in an early video when this was breaking news yesterday, so we definitely going to attack that. And then I'm making some life changes. Retiring for a second time officially, completely. I'm going to talk about it today, all right? Also, we got San Francisco. They basically paying people to leave. You know, the same way that Texas and Florida was kind of busting people up out of there. Well, they doing it to homeless people apparently over in San Francisco and RV owners. And they trying to get people out of there so bad that I heard that even offering plane tickets. So we definitely going to get into all of that. Make sure that you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is the greatest morning show on the face of the earth. So before we get into it, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor. Tiege Hanley has been holding us down. They gave us a crazy, crazy contract, but Tiege Hanley absolutely benefited by getting in early. They got in early. So shout out to the Tiege. 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. That link is in the description. Ladies, get it for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. It is Friday, August 2nd, and we know that the best time to get into the bag chasers is the beginning of the month. So I have 3 videos that I'm dropping for y'all this weekend. 3 videos that I'm dropping for y'all this weekend, okay? One is pre-recorded, so it's going to be me giving you information and it's breaking it down. The second is going to be an interview that I have somebody flying in, and I want them to give you insight on what they do professionally and how you can leapfrog off of that in order for you guys to be able to benefit from it. And then the third one is going to be Stock Club on Sunday. Again, one is going to be exclusively from me. That is never going to be available on the internet. Y'all already know that. 2, we're going to break it down as far as bringing somebody else in and interviewing them and making that exclusive just for y'all. No clips, no nothing is ever going to hit YouTube or the general public. That's going to be exclusive just for my bag chasers. And then 3, we got Stock Club that's popping off on Sunday. So if y'all not subscribed to the Patreon, if y'all not a bag chaser, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. It is the greatest group of all time. And you guys absolutely are my heart. Also, next week, I want to have a conversation with you guys about where we're going next. Where are we going next, y'all? Where are we going next? Where are we flying into next? I want to talk about it, all right? So we have a meetup. We meet in person. If you are a part of the Bag Chasers and you're not a part of the Discord, the link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. And then we got after hours tonight. So again, make sure y'all share this with your friends and family. Tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. It is Friday. The best day of the month to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. And we're going to get it in. We getting it in. It's going to be popping. All right. Any more housekeeping that we need to take care of before we get into it? Before we get into the show? Oh, let me say this. I got my notes right here. So I do my little pencil and I write my notes down. I'm going to be a little bit more prudent in how I manage the show. Let me say this, y'all. I'm winning. Let me give myself a round of applause. Read the super chats, read the cash apps, and acknowledge the people. I'm winning at the highest level possible. And I told y'all I was going to be winning at the highest level possible. But I don't want to brag. I don't want to get into that. We'll talk about that later. You know, I always like to give myself congratulations because I'm never going to wait for somebody to do it for me. I'm going to make sure that I show up and show out for myself, all right? But here's the thing. Shout out to everybody, Duval, Jackson, everybody. I see y'all naming the different places that y'all want to fly into. We'll talk about it. But here's the thing, all right? I'm in a space in my life. I am in a space in my life where if I give you some shine or I react to your video, you're going to have to learn how to market yourself and catch the wave. It's a blessing. Whether I react positively because I just react to the videos based off of what people send me, or I react negatively. You're going to have to learn how to manage it, catch the wave, and understand that all publicity is good publicity. I didn't have nobody when I first started off that shouted me out. I had to get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? I was vlogging, I was hustling, I was marketing myself. I was actually using this platform to market myself in corporate America, and I was documenting the journey, and then it just turned into something different. So, you know, when I was doing it, I didn't have nobody to get into it and to be able to leverage and leapfrog off of that. But y'all do. And so if I shout you out or I tell people, hey, man, go over to their channel, you do realize that it's a lot of people that's going to go over to your channel and hold y'all down. Now, what you can't do is get offended by it and then get butthurt about it and then think that you can get my attention because I'm up here now. I'm way up here. I'm all the way up. I'm way up here now. You can't get my attention. And the bait and switch game is not going to work for me. So I'll say this. You attract more flies with honey than vinegar. You're going to attract more with the good stuff. And so, anybody that knows me or anybody that understands how I move, I don't punch down, I go up. And so, I give visibility to the content creators. I like to shout people out. But if I'm going to go back and forth with somebody, I have to go back and forth with somebody that actually benefits me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give anybody any free shine. So, I will say, let me just say this for the people in the back. It is Friday. Shout out to the content creators. Shout out to everybody that's trying to get visibility for their channel. But on top of that, you're going to have to give people a reason that they're going to subscribe to your stuff, not just try to get me to bring you into my sphere because I have no reason to pull you in or no reason to go back and forth with you. You're going to have to make it worth my while by getting your numbers up. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all of the people. Shout out to all of the content creators. They don't know. Some of them don't know no better. They new to the game, and so they trying to figure it out. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. But catch the wave. Maybe y'all need to tap into the Patreon so that y'all can get some game on how it is that you can level up and how you can market yourself more effectively so that you'll be getting more visibility and you'll get organic traffic instead of just a quick video and then you're done for the rest of your life. All right. So shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Shout out to my white people. Shout out to my black people. Shout out to my Asians, my Latinos, Hispanics, everybody, Indians. We love everybody. We do not run in the Victim Olympics, and we absolutely positively do not do identity politics over here. If you're a good person, if you're looking to level up, then we rock with you. If you disagree with us, we rock with you. Moderators, I always tell them every single time, and I hold my moderators, I hold my own people accountable. We are okay with pushback. We are okay with people having a difference of opinion than us. We are okay with people thinking differently than us and expressing their thoughts in the chat. The only thing that we ask is to keep it cordial. Do not have pointed attacks and going back and forth at people and getting personal in the chat. And don't be overly disrespectful. If you got difference of opinion, say that. Get involved. Get active. Help me to understand how I'm different. Look, I interact with the chat. Shout out to Slant Cell Cars, Brittany, Trini, Molly, Vanessa, TK, Christian, Yakar, everybody. K Cooper, I get active in the chat. I think that chat lives matters. I want y'all active. Y'all are absolutely a part of the energy. And the more that y'all give me, the more that I can give y'all. So I like it when people disagree with us because this is not an echo chamber. And I might even change my position, or I might have a different position based off of something that you tell me. So moderators, do not time people out just because they got a difference of opinion or they think differently than us. Keep it G, right? I just want y'all to make sure that it's only for people that are disrespectful, not for people that's looking to have authentic discussion. All right? So now that we threw all of the housekeeping, y'all ready to get started with the show? I said, are you ready to get started with the show? Let's get it. All right, so let me read some of the super chats and then the cash apps and we're going to get to it. Jamal Parks in the building says, what software do you stream from? OBS, StreamYard? Neither. I do use StreamYard. I have Q and Mika use StreamYard when they doing stuff and on Monday nights or whatever. But y'all going to have to tap into the Patreon. I'll show y'all my whole setup inside of the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. These people don't know what they talking about out here in these streets. Pat Entertainment says, just got my first 4-figure check from YouTube. Shout out to the people that's running it up and the bag chasers. Shout out to Pat. I love that. I love it when the people run it up. Miss Crow T. Shetty always holding me down. Shout out to Miss Crow T. Shetty with the super sticker. Jay Johnson says, blessings to the chasers and blessings to you, AD. I'm so glad that you are consistent and showing us how to get it. I picked up the double. The truck routes and hard work pays off. Just trying to get like y'all. You already like me, big dog. Hard work beats it every time. Brittany B says, next meetup, I'm driving. Nah, you flying. You got a little bit held up at the Chicago airport. We know how it is. Slan says, Cars in the building says, good morning, Anton. The value add has helped me improve my life greatly. Thank you, my friend, and I appreciate you. Brittany B says, shout out to Dr. Quantum. She's back. We in the building. DJ Ace Production says, feeling good, y'all. Let's get it. Shout out to DJ Ace. This weekend, I'm gonna make sure I get my voice back. But we got to cook today. Dr. Quantum in the building says my second fave, Brittany B. Shout out to Dr. Quantum. I love it. I love it. Let me read some of the cash apps for the people that actually contributed to the platform because we don't ask for it. We don't ask for any of this, but I definitely want to make sure that I acknowledge the people that support the platform. It does not go unnoticed. ESDC in the building. Shout out to ESDC. I appreciate you. Frank White says, Anton, please step on Scamala's spine for this. All right, we'll see what's happening. I don't want to be objective. I don't just want to go after her for the sake of going after her. Mike, that dude in the building on Cash App. Curtis is in the building. All right, Curtis, I got you. You got it on email and Patreon. All right, Curtis Fluker. Shout out to Curtis. I got you, big dog. Rudy Jean says, loving the grind, AD. Any chance for career coaching? If y'all want to do anything from a business perspective, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. I don't do anything, and I mean absolutely nothing, in my DMs. Although y'all should be following me on X, Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. Those links is in the description. Chris James is in the building. Shout out to Chris James. Rich friends. Shout out to my rich friends. Told me to stop running lights. No, Chris James. Lights are a suggestion, not a requirement. You know what I'm saying? I want to give some shouts out to my rich friends out here in the building before we get it started. Ray Sean is in the building, says tap into the Patreon. Becoming rich is good for your mental health. Ray Sean is one of my mentees. One of my most successful mentees, might I add. Ray Sean is very much a millionaire at this point. He don't want to say it, but I'm going to just say it for him because he humble. He humble. Ray Sean ain't got no student loans no more. He be writing $75,000 checks out and stuff like that. Ray Sean, don't be humble. Don't be humble. Tell them how it is that we getting it out here in these streets. My dog, that's why I got rich friends. They don't mind spending $100 because they done made $100,000 this month. You know what I'm saying? People be tripping like, oh my God, why you always showing love? Because I show love first. Darius, shout out to Darius, says because I rock with you and have a blessed day. Thank you, Darius, for holding me down. I appreciate you. I absolutely appreciate you. Whether you spend $1 or $500, I show love to everybody. Turtle Island says, which trade was better, this or the grinder one? Oh man, I can't wait to get into that. Now that we got some details, we got to rock out, y'all. But before we get into that, we got to get into quick hits, y'all. Quick hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think that we got to spend a whole lot of time on, but I definitely want to keep y'all up to date on what's going on in these streets, man. First things first, a 3-year-old hurts my heart. Hurts my heart. A 3-year-old grazed, thank God that they wasn't killed, but grazed in a Chicago shootout. If y'all want me to stop talking about y'all cities, if y'all want me to stop bringing them to the front of the congregations, then we can't have 3-year-olds getting grazed and then having to live with that scar for the rest of their life as a result of being involved in the shootout in Chicago. Check it out.
We want to begin with some breaking news. A 3-year-old is in the hospital this morning after a shooting in Humboldt Park. Asal Razai is live at Stroger Hospital where that child was taken. Asal,
I got you, Ash.
We know the boy is expected to be okay.
Yeah, and that's the good news here this morning. We're told that 3-year-old boy was brought here with a grazed wound, thankfully in good condition at last check. Want to show you video we have of the crime scene. Police could be seen investigating at least 2 cars, a Chevy sedan with flashing lights. You see there, it appears the back driver's side window.
Look at the baby seat. Come on, man, not the baby seat. Not the baby seat. If you see something and you see an old person in the car, you see a woman, you see a baby seat, even if you're a criminal, you're not supposed to be shooting up the baby seat. Not the baby seat got bullet holes in it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let them live to see another day. Jesus. I mean, if you see the baby seat in the back of there, you probably shouldn't even break into a car, let alone shoot into it. We got the baby seat. Chicago, what the is going on?
Was shot out. Tires of that car also appear to be damaged. At least one tire looks blown out. At one point you can see a car seat in the back of that sedan through the shattered glass. This is near the corner of Hayden and Costner. We're told the shooting happened around 10:45 last night. Police say the child was in the car with his mother when a man in a pickup truck fired shots towards them. They say the father of that 3-year-old child was that was shot was involved in some sort of dispute that led to this shooting. Police saying that shooter is someone that this family knows. The 3-year-old victim's left leg was grazed by a bullet. Again, brought here to the hospital in good condition at last check. Police say their investigation into that shooting continues this morning, and so far they have no one in custody.
Of course they don't have anybody in custody, even though the family know the person that shot at him and shot the baby leg up. Not the baby leg. Good God. Just throw the whole city away and just keep him. Throw the whole city away. It ain't even nothing else to talk about in Chicago. Good God. Brandon Johnson need to focus more on whether or not the baby seats is getting shot up than what anything he got to say about Trump at the National Association of Black Journalists. Anyways, remember the off-duty cop that got killed, the off-duty sheriff that got killed in Chicago? Well, they finally arrested the guy that did it. And of course, it's the usual suspects. Take a look.
Top local story. Charges have been filed against a man accused of killing Cook County Sheriff's Deputy Raphael Wardlaw.
Christine Flores is live at police headquarters with the latest on this developing story. Christine?
Oh, Dina and Pat, good afternoon.
They got some big ones in Chicago. What y'all feeding these people in Chicago? The last one was the same. Hold on, let me pull up the last one. Give me a second. Give me a second. What y'all got in Chicago? Is it the pizza? Chicago-style pizza? I know y'all got the thick pizza with the extra sauce on it and stuff. I'm sorry. This is, for those of y'all that's new to this show, we get distracted because we look at certain things and we pay attention to the details. You're not going to tell me that my eyes ain't eyes in right now, all right? So I'm just trying to understand, is it the deep dish pizza? What is going on in Chicago? I know New York, they're not having this in New York. They moving differently in New York. They not having this in New York. What the hell is going on in Chicago? Good God. Let's get into it. We want to stick to the stories. We get a little distracted over here, though. Let's rock out.
We have now learned 32-year-old Cordero Thompson, a convicted felon, faces multiple felony counts in the murder of Raphael Wardlaw. Now, Cordero Thompson faces multiple felony charges, including murder, attempted murder, and attempted armed robbery. The charges were announced during a press conference Thursday morning at police headquarters. Officials say it was around 1:25 Tuesday morning when Wardlaw stopped at a gas station with a friend in the 500 block of East 67th Street in the city's Woodlawn neighborhood when Thompson tried to rob him with 2 guns. Officials say firing off at least 69 rounds. Police went on to say Wardlaw fired once from his vehicle, striking Thompson in the leg. Thompson fled the scene and made his way to a hospital for treatment, providing false information and a fake alias. Officials say Thompson fled to a second hospital in a rideshare for treatment after refusing to cooperate with police and again provided false information. Thompson was arrested within 3 hours of the shooting.
Losing one of your own is never easy. It's also worse when you know that you've lost someone to senseless gun violence.
Facts.
We've seen this all too often.
Facts.
Deputy Wardlaw should have been celebrating his 32nd birthday next week. Instead, his family is now dealing with the loss of a loved one. I cannot say enough to bring some type of sense to this type of violence. There's never going to be any sense that you can bring to this type of violence because it doesn't make sense. And usually the one that survives, let me get this guy's mugshot up here. The one that survived, and you know what the worst part about survival in a lot of these instances? They fit the same profile and criteria. First thing I want to know is, when is Black lives ever going to really matter to Black people, or is it always going to be white people's responsibility or the system's responsibility for fixing the decisions that y'all make as grown people to take these adults away from their families that's supposed to be growing into their old age? And then when are we also going to have an uncomfortable conversation about the idea that police officers that police in their own neighborhoods and their own communities and their own counties are the ones that's suffering
and they're the ones that's getting killed, yet we got to jump on Monday night panels and talk to people that then tell me that police officers need to create a better dialogue with the criminals in their community instead of us holding them accountable. It's always the ones that shouldn't be here that survive. It's the drunk drivers, they kill everybody and they walk away. They don't have a scratch on them. And then we got to go and we got to feed these type of people 3 hots and a cot. And then y'all going to be screaming, free my cousin. He unjustly supposed to be there. It's unreal, man. Last but not least, sometimes I just get disgusted. Last but not least, Nationwide is on your side. They're just not on the employee side. They announced some major layoffs, ladies and gentlemen.
New tonight, big changes coming to Nationwide Insurance. The Columbus-based company announced a reduction in its workforce.
10 TV reporter Kevin Landers is live with us in studio to explain what's going on. Kevin.
Well, good evening. Nationwide's Property and Casualty Division is the division that will see the reduction of employees. Over the next year, the company tells 10 TV it will lay off employees in its supporting functions, including technology. Nationwide says these employees were working on a hybrid schedule. How many employees will be impacted, the company won't say, only that approximately 5% of its property and casualty workforce will be eliminated.
It's always the ones that's working from home or on a hybrid schedule. I told y'all, when people start going back into the office, the ones that's going to survive is going to be the ones that's visible. It's going to be the ones that's visible. It's going to be the ones that add value. Sometimes it's just a numbers game, but I've been seeing layoffs everywhere. I'm going to read those super chats shortly.
Statement to 10 TV, the company says, quote, this is due to a variety of factors, including associates voluntarily moving to other roles within and outside Nationwide, not filling open roles when possible, slowing business and underperforming lines, and operating model changes. We spoke to a local economist about the news.
The weakness that we're seeing in insurance is concerning simply because insurance is such a major part of our economy, much more than average. It's just harder to be in insurance now than it was a few years ago.
Lafayette says more wildfires in the west, tornadoes in the Midwest, and flooding in the south have raised the number of insurance claims, cutting into profits. The Columbus economy is heavily dependent on insurance, more so than most cities with 30,000 people employed in the industry. These layoffs will not impact Nationwide's financial services. Now, layoffs are not new for the insurance industry. Several insurance giants made significant cuts last year, including Prudential Financial, which trimmed 243 executive roles. Liberty Mutual slashed 850 jobs, and Geico and Farmers cut more than 2,000 staff.
Y'all know how insurance companies make their money? Do you know how Warren Buffett leveraged insurance companies in order to really, really get rich? Maybe I should do a Patreon exclusive video on that. But in a general sense, I think that this cut's happening everywhere. And one of the things that they're going to try to distract us from in this upcoming election is the fact that y'all broke. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about the United States of America. We broke, us as a country, right? Because I'm not going to separate myself from the group. That's why I invest in my people's businesses and things like that. But in a general sense, most people are tapped out. Most people are broke, and they are worried. And what's supposed to be a thriving economy, stock market is suffering, jobs is suffering, the jobs that people actually want and make a lot of money for. AI is coming in at the same time to replace everybody, and people ain't got no money. They ain't got no ability to feed their family. And you talking about unity? Man, listen, miss me with that. Unity is for rich people. Unity is when you ain't got nothing else to worry about. I'm going to just be honest with you. Unity is for people. It's quick hits. I don't want to get too deep in quick hits. But unity is for people that ain't got nothing better to do with their time. Because when you starving and you broke, and if you come from where we come from, that unity is out the window. We got to figure out how to go get some money. It's people out here tapped. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting here. I heard about Intel too. I heard about Intel laying off all of those people, and their stock price went down like 17%. That's why we got to have that emergency stock club over this weekend to figure out where it is that we can capitalize inside of the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. But I'm just going to tell you on some real time, when people broke, you can miss us with that identity politics. You can miss us with the games. You can miss us with the free concerts. When people are tapped out, when people ain't got no money, When people are tapped out and they ain't got no money, yo, what up? Yeah. About the one that I'm supposed to do later on today at 1 o'clock. Yeah, the Fox News segment that I was supposed to do yesterday because we had that breaking news with the prisoner swap. I'm supposed to do that one. So if I could do both segments, that'd be cool. But I want to be transparent and let them know that another network had already contacted me though. Yes, sir. All right, bye. Call me and let me know. Y'all might be catching me on 2 different segments, maybe 2 different networks today. We'll see. So we working. We gonna get there. But we got stories to get by. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your quick hits. That's your quick hits, y'all. Whoa! Let me read some of these super chats and then we gonna get to it. I'm hot, ain't I? I am hot in these streets, man. Let me close this really quickly. Put my notes down so I can acknowledge the people. Ash, shout out to my rich friend Ash. I appreciate Ash. Ash just say AD, salute. Shout out to Ash. I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with me for all of these years, Ash. Self-Made Forever says Bag Chaser Friday. AD, being a movie guy, what is your review of Deadpool versus Wolverine? Shout out to you for being a good representation of black men on Fox News. I have not seen it yet, and I do plan on seeing it this weekend. So after I see it this weekend, I will be tapping in with y'all on After Hours, or I might even just do a live stream and kick it with y'all. You know what? I think I'm gonna go live on Instagram and TikTok this weekend. I'm gonna start going live on Instagram and TikTok. So I do plan on talking about that, but I haven't seen it yet. I don't want people to spoil it for me, so I'm gonna dig into that. David Williams says, did someone say baby leg? Because I'm more than a D. Mr. Joe said for the collection plate, thank you, Mr. Joe. Jeffrey Woolen in the building said, shout out to all of the thick mommies. You say you like them, BB Dub? All right. TR is in the building. Thank you, TR says, 320 reviews Stephen A. and Charlamagne Presidential Showdown. Aged perfectly. A million reasons why this is the greatest morning show on earth. On 320, I reviewed Stephen A. and Charlamagne Presidential Showdown, and it aged beautifully. Do I not be on? Do I not be dead on? I be spot on. P. Shank, thank you. This P. Shank in the building. I appreciate y'all. See, a lot of people don't remember because a lot of people are new, but we gonna get there. Shout out to Frederico Alpadrino says, shout out to them uterus boys. You was watching on After Hours last night, I see. Mr. Lot, shout out to my dog, Mr. Lot. Shout out to Mr. Lot getting to it. Said hitting up downtown this morning to check out some of these apartments. Oh, you moving down here with me, Mr. Lot? I see you, big dog. Okay, let's get this money then. Shout out to all of my chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as put to the top of the chat. We got to get to it, y'all. We got to get to it. All right, so Evan Gershkovich and Paul Whelan, as well as several other people in a multi-prisoner swap amongst multiple different countries, hit the news yesterday, so I had to cancel my appearance, and then they had to focus 100% on that. So I was glad that things played out the way that it played out, because then I was able to authentically get all of the information so that we can have a conversation this morning. Authentically get the information so we can have a conversation this morning. All right, without further ado, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We're going to man this out. The first thing that I want to man out is what happened. You guys need to be informed so that I can then give you my opinion, and then we're going to go into Trump's reaction, we're going to go into CNN's reaction, and we're going to break this thing all the way down to the white meat.
Breaking news, Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich is back in the U.S. this morning after being held prisoner in Russia for more than a year.
Last night, President Biden and Vice President Harris welcomed Gershkovich and other freed Americans home. It follows the biggest prisoner swap between the U.S. and Russia since the fall of the Soviet Union. Christina Fan is live outside the Wall Street Journal headquarters in Midtown. Christina.
Well, Mary, as you just mentioned, this is the largest prisoner swap between the U.S. and Russia since the end of the Cold War, involving 24 prisoners and multiple countries. The Wall Street Journal reporter was sentenced to 18 years in prison following a trial that the U.S. government called a sham. This morning, he and other Americans are finally back home. Evan Gershkovich and 2 other freed Americans touched down in San Antonio this morning to be checked out at Brooke Army Medical Center after their release in a historic prisoner swap. Hours prior, the Wall Street Journal reporter, along with Marine veteran Paul Whelan and radio journalist Alsu Kermashiva, were welcomed home by President Biden and Vice President Harris in an emotional homecoming.
This is the newest flag that flies over the White House. There's only 3 flags that fly over the White House. This is one of them.
I want y'all to remember this before we even give credit to the administration, right? Because I didn't want to speak too soon, but I had a theory and I think that I was absolutely right. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. Before we give credit to the administration, because some people is going to say, oh, look at the good job that they did. Look at the good job that they did. First, I want to get back to the core and help y'all remember exactly what happened last year when we got the person that has recently designated themselves as a new father, Brittany Griner. Let me give them a round of applause. I want to tell y'all that we got fleeced, absolutely fleeced in the original transaction, prisoner swap. Brittany Griner, a WNBA basketball player who has recently declared himself a new father for the Russian merchant of death. That was our identity politics, diversity, equity, and inclusion move, okay? So we had to do the identity politics, diversity, equity, and inclusion move before we got over into the real thick of things right before the election. Don't be bamboozled. Don't be fooled. Don't let them throw the wool over your eyes. I'm going to break this down all the way to the white meat. We got fleeced for the Lord of War, the Russian merchant of death, that they literally made a movie for, a gun runner who is just, God knows how many people have now died as far as him now supplying arms all across the world. Who knows? Only God can be there for him now. Had him in the most secure facility in the United States of America, and we let him go for Brittany Griner. And she talk like this. So before we get to the thick of this, and I break down how we got fleeced in this deal, let me bring y'all up to the front of the congregation, and I'm going to let y'all see exactly what Evan talks about and how it is, and Paul. And I want to just give you the news of what happened, and then we're going to deep dive into it.
President Biden described the months-long negotiations as a feat of diplomacy involving 7 countries and 24 prisoners.
You see how they invited all of the media to take photos, all of that stuff. Hey, get everything in position. Make sure y'all get your cameras together.
Including 16 moving from Russia to the West and 8 prisoners held in the West being sent back to Russia. The entire deal hinged on the release of Vadim.
So we got 3. They got 8 back. All right.
Krasnikov, a suspected Russian spy serving a life sentence in Germany for murder.
So they get a life sentenced Russian spy back who kept his mouth shut. He said no snitching. And Russia said, we want to keep this information secret. We got to get him back.
But the U.S. also released 3 Russians accused of fraud and cyber crimes.
Today. So they get hackers. They get hackers. Don't worry about it. We're going to get into it in the next segment.
It's a powerful example of why it's vital to have friends in this world. Friends you can trust, work with, and depend upon.
In Gershkovich's hometown of Princeton, New Jersey, emotions ran high.
We never forgot you. We never gave up hope. From a personal level, I know how extraordinary you are as a person.
The veteran journalist graduated from Princeton High School, where he was a star soccer player. Last year, the team dedicated its season to him, hoping for his safe return.
We're thrilled for his parents. We saw the stress in their eyes, and we're thrilled for them.
And the Biden administration is facing some criticism this morning that the exchange could embolden Russian President Vladimir Putin to arrest more Americans.
And that's exactly what they did. And why wouldn't they? That's exactly what they did. So let me tell you how this played out, all right? And I said this, and I'm going to break down how this is supposed to benefit the Biden administration, Harris specifically, because she made sure she flew straight from the rally over to the plane landing so that she can get a photo op with the people that's coming home from America like she had anything to do with the negotiations. Let me tell you how this plays out, right? They get some of the worst people to do some of the worst crimes back. They get 8 back, we get 3. And what they did was they arrested a journalist, they arrested a Marine that went over there for a wedding, and then some other random woman, right? And which we do want them home. It's not like we want Americans to be abroad. We want them home. But all they did was, okay, hey, listen, you American, get them. We can get the Russian merchant to death because this is a WNBA player, and we know that they believe in the alphabet community and diversity, equity, and inclusion over in the United States of America. Got that one. Got the Russian Lord of War back. Oh, dog, don't give them Paul yet. Don't give them Evan yet. Who else can we get? They got them the same way that my man, what was the name of that movie where Kevin Costner was the general manager of a football team and he was getting fleeced at first and then he figured out how to get all of his stuff back? Kevin Costner was Vladimir Putin. Kevin Costner was back on his heels and then he was Vladimir Putin and he wound up fleecing the whole team. All right? Then it was like, well, what else can we get? We got some hackers over there. We got some Russian spies. What we got to give them back? Oh, we got somebody that came over here for a wedding. Who else do we got back? That's what Putin said. Who else do we have back? We got Evan. We got Paul. What do they do? Well, Paul, he's just a Wall Street journalist. I don't know if they're going to really want that. You know what? Let's wait until election season. We don't want Trump into the White House anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to leverage this because we know that Americans like photos. Draft day. Shout out to Draft Day. We know Americans like photos, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and WNBA basketball players. Who's coming up? Caitlin Clark? We need Brittany Griner. We can get the Russian merchant of death back. Biden? completely out of his mind. He'll take anything. Who's running? Harris? She'll come for the photo op. We need our spies. Tell them to be quiet. We need our spies. We need our hackers. And we definitely need our gun runners because we have a whole war that we have to do, and we do not want Trump to get back in office. Let's have beer. You want the truth or you want me to give you the fluff? You want the truth or you want me to give you the fluff? Let's just go here. Let's get the rest of the news because they thought that we was just going to be finesse and they thought that this was going to be a victory and that I was going to be like, oh man, they just doing such a good job. They doing such a good job. Let's see what he had to say.
This is the newest flag that flies over the White House. There's only 3 flags that fly over the White House. This is one of them. Oh yeah, President Biden gave me his pin from his, that's the American flag. Yeah. He wore it on his lapel. So we were chatting and he took it off and gave it to me. So it's a keepsake.
Could you describe the moment of coming back?
Oh, it was nice. It was nice. You know, it didn't feel real until we were flying over England. I'm a British citizen, Irish citizen, Canadian, and American. So as we came over England and I looked down, you know, that's when it became real. We flew over Ireland, then Canada, and into America, and then I knew I was home. So getting off the plane, seeing the president, the vice president, that was nice. It was a good homecoming. So looking forward to seeing my family down here and just.
He said, hey, to see them down there, that was nice. But I'm looking to see my family. He didn't thank them. He did not. Listen, I want y'all to look at this. He did not thank the president, and he did not thank the vice president.
Recuperating from 5 years, 7 months, and 5 days of just absolute nonsense by the Russian government.
What was it like to hug your sister?
It was very nice. Yeah, I hadn't seen her in a couple years. So yeah, it's nice to reconnect with family like that. She's done a lot. You know, my brothers too, my parents. You know, sometimes some harsh words with the government, having to keep them accountable for taking care of us. But in the end, you know, here I am.
Some harsh words for the government in order to keep them accountable for taking care of us. Quoted. Some harsh words for the government in order to keep them accountable for taking care of us. End quote. That's what he said. Meanwhile, it was a photo op for the vice president because she definitely wanted to get her fake Joker smile up there. She wanted to get her teeth out. And so they wanted to make sure that they get the photo op and meet them at the tarmac. Meet them at the tarmac in order to get the photo op. All right? Let's see if we can get a little further in this thing. What a setup. What a setup. Back up. Back up. I'm going to show y'all what a photo op is. Photo op right there. Photo op. Photo op, cheese. Oh my God, I hate what the heck I see happening in these streets today. Woo! But that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read some of the super chat. So now y'all are familiar with what happened with regard to the prisoner swap. There's more details to come. I'll get into those shortly, but I just wanted to give y'all the general overview. I know y'all like Cliff Notes before we start digging into the details, but we're going to dig into the details. Let me read some of this. Shout out to the Chasers. Skinny Boy Django Morrison says, 9th super chat, they're asking my Mexican wife why she with a black guy told her to tell him he's more than the D. They know why. This was only done for political reasons. Fact. And just so happened to do it right before the election. 93 days before the election. Ain't that crazy? Roger Marine says, I respect your consistency about the prisoner exchange. I was right. Shout out to Artifacts in the building. I appreciate you. Says, I got this super sticker for you, dog. Thank you, big dog. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to dig into the details? So I'm going to go over to CNN. I'm going to go to CNN. What I like to do is I like to use multiple different sources because I don't believe all of them. And what you use, when you use those multiple different sources, what you do is you can somehow find the truth in the middle of it, right? So let's go over to CNN. CNN did a live stream about why Putin possibly did the prisoner swap. I gave my theory yesterday. I believe I was absolutely spot on. But this is CNN's take, who is traditionally a liberal organization.
Matthew Chance is in London. Matthew, you know, when you think about how all this happened, and I referenced, changes at the FSB's Fifth Service, you also have, as so central to this, we know Vladimir Putin wanted the return of an assassin who is serving a life sentence in Germany, Vadim Krasikov, and that there were some in the German government who did not want to do this. And all these pieces and players had to come into place at the right time with the right conversations for this to happen. But yet ultimately, Matthew, Vladimir Putin had to say yes. And Why do you think he said yes now?
Ain't that crazy to where we live in the times to where the United States of America is not in a position of power? That people are not bowing down to us and they not saying, hey man, America, Biden had to say yes. They said Vladimir Putin, they got him at the top of the totem pole when it comes to the negotiations for whether or not we can or we can't do something and who it is that we gonna do it to. We used to be a nation that said, listen, we don't negotiate with terrorists. We make the demands, you accept them. Now it's they make the demands, we meet their terms and agreement in order to be able to do what they want to do. When I was growing up, I'm an 80s baby. 90s made me. 2000s, it absolutely hated me. 2010, we here, mama, we here. And 2020s, we running it up. You know what I'm saying? But it used to be a time in history where we was in a position of power and people feared us. Now they think we weak.
I think this is a great deal for Vladimir Putin. I mean, he has managed to basically get back a Kremlin assassin, a colonel in the FSB, who killed in broad daylight a Chechen dissident in the center of the German capital, in exchange, as well as a lot of other people as well.
And as well as some hackers. He got spies, he got assassins. He got people that kill people in the front of other people and still can get home and be able to walk the yard. He got hackers back. He got everything. He got the whole coop. He said, let me get all of these chess pieces. Let me get all of these chess pieces. That's what he got.
Russia is interested in and may have information that Russia wants to keep, to itself and not be disclosed to its rivals, in exchange for a group of individuals who, for all intents and purposes, did nothing wrong. People like Evan Gershkovich, who was doing his job as a journalist. He was accused and convicted of espionage, of spying for the CIA. But he categorically denied it, as did the US government. Paul Whelan as well, this former Marine who's been in a Russian jail for the best part of the past 6 years. He was in Moscow attending a wedding and he was accused and convicted and sentenced to 16 years.
Okay, so we traded the Russian merchant of death, an assassin from Assassin's Creed. They got a video game and they got a movie made for him. And then we also traded in for a colonel, a captain that killed people in the middle of Germany. We got some hackers, we got some expert hackers, and we got some other people that was thrown in there. And then basically we got back Owen Wilson and out Wedding Crashers. We got Wedding Crashers back. Honest to God, listen, I wanted these Americans back, especially over Brittany Griner. That's a fact. We wanted these Americans back. We don't think that they did anything wrong. They went over there for a wedding. Owen Wilson and, they went over there in order to get some chicks and go and see their daughters off and all of this stuff. And we wanted them back. But we just wanted a better negotiation. We can't do nothing. We can't get nothing better than that. I heard, I can't confirm, I can't substantiate it yet. I heard a little birdie told me that we also gave some money. We gave billions of dollars. We gave taxpayer money. I can't substantiate it. This is not an official declaration that this is what our United States government and Biden did in his older age along with Kamala Harris. But I heard, word on the street was that we also gave up billions of dollars on top of that.
For spying as well. And so, yes, this is a big tactical victory on the part of the United States. They're bringing these people home. But, strategically, this is a vindication, I think, for Vladimir Putin of his strategy of taking bargaining chips and using them to extract as big a concession as possible from the United States and from the West at large. And so, this is an important day. It's an emotional day, but it's also a day that has involved a substantial amount of moral compromise on the part of the West to get these people back.
And people are absolutely mad and 100% disgusted. See, they try not to release too many details. They just want to parade around you for the photo op. They don't want to give you the details. They don't want you to actually go through and mine through the information and better understand. Okay, what exactly did we get for this? What do we get for this? So homie went over there, and see what it does is it emboldened other countries to then do the same thing. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all got a wedding crasher over here? Let me go ahead and get him because we got some stuff that we want from the USA. We want billions of dollars, and we want all of our people back that did some of the worst crimes so that we can leverage them and get them back in action.
Let's get some perspective from our experts now. We're joined by CNN Chief National Security Correspondent Alex Marquardt, alongside CNN Global Affairs Analyst Kimberly Dozier, and we're also joined by NATO's former Supreme Allied Commander, General Wesley Clark. Thank you all for being with us. Alex, take us through how the next few hours are going to play out when these prisoners finally get to the United States.
So thankfully, we're past the hardest part. The exchange has taken place. The prisoners are heading home to their respective countries.
And you know what the funniest part about this is? So Russia got a whole bunch of pieces back, right? If you go and you do your research, which I did, because you know that I'm gonna go over there and see what's going on. So this exchange involved 24 people officially, 24 people being exchanged and swapped out all over, according to multiple different news sources. Okay, let me deep dive a little bit more. They're championing this as a feat of diplomacy. A feat of diplomacy, okay? Here's the key. If I go through this, and I was reading through, it says, hold on. I want to make sure that I got this correct. Several more Americans, they didn't even give up everything. That's the worst part about this whole feat. They didn't give up everything. They gave up they gave up a limited amount. They said, all right, you come back to the negotiation table and we're going to see what else you got for us. And we're going to play it by ear from there. We're going to see what happens after this. If y'all play right and y'all be big girls and boys and we get this photo op for y'all, what you going to do for us in the future? They went through, check it out. Several more Americans are still being held in Russia. Mark Fogel and Travis Leak are two who were convicted on drug charges, probably falsely, similar to Brittany Griner. Gordon Black, an American soldier held for allegedly stealing and threatening murder. Of course, we know that they just said that in order to be able to capture him, just like they did Paul Whelan and they did Brittany Griner and all of them, right? The White House is also acknowledged is working to get American hostages from Israel and Hamas war-free. At least a handful are believed to still be alive. While many are praising the release of Americans, some Republican lawmakers question the way in which it was done. They don't want a deep dive. We still got people over there and they getting everything back. Am I going too hard? Am I going too hard? I'm just asking, am I going too hard? Are we deep diving too much, or do we want to pull back? We want to go back with the regular stuff? Y'all want to go back to the pretend normal stuff? Like, oh my God, we're just so happy. I'm just curious.
When it comes to the United States, they are going to be coming home and then offered medical and psychological services. Now, MJ mentioned there that President Biden is expected to go out to Andrews, Joint Base Andrews. So we could see these the three Americans plus Vladimir Kara-Murza, who's a green card holder, coming to the East Coast, but they will be offered the opportunity to go out to San Antonio, Texas. The Brooke Army Medical Center is part of the biggest Defense Department complex in their system. And they have a special program called PISA, P-I-S-A, that is designed to help people essentially get back on their feet after traumatic events. This is something that Brittany Griner, for example, went through, and Trevor Reed was offered. And so oftentimes we will see people landing in San Antonio, Texas. I think obviously, the family reunions are going to be their biggest priority. We saw some of the family members there with President Biden. And so after that, they will be given all of the necessary things that they will that they may need to adjust and get back on their feet. So this is.
Somebody said Brittany did break the law. Agreed. She shouldn't have had that stuff over there in the first place. But look what we gave up for. We gave up the Russian merchant of death. The fucking Russian merchant of death. Well, that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. Before I read the super chats, now let's read the super chats. We want to make sure that we acknowledge the people in between every segment. We going into Trump. I want to get Trump's reaction as a result of it. Roger Marine says Russia played the United States for a fool. For a fool. Spider Clamp is in the building and says, the way you call out political BS is exactly why I'm here. Keep bringing the heat, and the more may actually based on your words, not just hear you. We gonna get to it. Spider Clamp, shout out to Spider Clamp in the building. Dre on the grind is in the building, says Trump kisses and hugs terrorists. North Korea. Okay, well, we gonna talk about it. Let's find out. We don't want to dodge no smoke. We invite all smoke. Roger Marine says those prisoners will forever be loyal to Putin. P. Rothstein 216 says, Vlad Putin out here waiting trades, killing it like Danny Ainge. Ain't he over there in Boston? Stockpiling stock picks. The worst trade in history since Minnesota traded 12 players for Herschel Walker. Now that was bad. That was bad. They say one of the worst trades is Paul George over there too, that went over there to the Clippers and left for nothing. Jeremy A says we basically gave Russia their A-team back, with Mr. T included. Ardilla Squirrel 88 in the building says Putin is saying, I am more than my D. Are we about to make that a thing? Are we about to make that a thing? Shout out to Dylan KO. I appreciate you in the building on Cash App. Also Frank White. Frank White in the building. I appreciate you, Frank White. I got my rich friends tapping in right now though, so I gotta excuse myself. I gotta excuse myself. My rich friends is here. Spencer Campbell says this sounds worse than Obama trade. 5 Taliban members for a Marine deserter. Oh, Spence, thank you for supporting the platform, my dog. We got to continue to move forward. Let's get to it. Ain't nothing left to do it but to do it and get to it. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to continue to rock out with the show? I want to get Trump's reaction. So Trump reacted to the prisoner swap deal, and I couldn't wait. Are y'all subscribed to the Patreon? Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Did you share this with your friends and family? P. Rothstein, I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. Trump reacted to the trade, and this is what he had to say on Fox.
And it is time for the hot topic of the hour, the U.S.-Russia prisoner swap and rising tensions in the Middle East, making foreign policy a major focus of the 2024 race. President Trump weighing in on this, joining me in a wide-ranging interview on this and a lot more. Mr. President, thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you very much.
So much has changed since the last time you and I sat together. Of course, a successful RNC, Biden dropping out, Kamala is in, and of course, an assassination attack on you. First question, how are you feeling? Good. I see you don't have the bandage on your ear anymore.
No, I got it off. It's good.
Now, do you see how this woman was able to successfully disarm him by acknowledging, first of all, acknowledging his trauma? Acknowledging his, hey, listen, I see you got the bandage off. They had an assassination attempt on your life. Y'all did some phenomenal things. Russians is trying to kill y'all, but it's okay. But y'all had a successful Republican National Convention. And these are some of the things that didn't happen since the last time that we talked. But how are you feeling first? How's everything going? They can learn something on that other side about being able to get the information out of the people.
Good healing process. Got it off. I feel great, actually.
Big news today. Russia and the U.S. In an exchange, a prisoner swap, largest East-West prisoner swap since the Cold War. What is your reaction that Russia freed the Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich and others?
Well, as usual, it was a win for Putin or any other country that deals with us. But we got somebody back, so I'm never going to be challenging that. It wouldn't have happened with us. We would have gotten it back. We wouldn't have had to pay anything. We wouldn't have had to let some of the great killers of the world go, because that's what's happened, as you know. And the deal's very complex because it just came out, so nobody understands the deal yet. And they make it complex, so you can't understand how bad the deal is for us. But we got them back. and we could have had him back. We should have had him back a long time ago. It should have never happened. It would have never happened. He shouldn't have been taken in the first place, and it would have never happened with us if I was president.
So it was more than prisoner swaps? It was something else?
I have no idea what they did. I just know they announced it's a very complex deal. That's usually a way of saying we made a bad deal, and we made it complex so nobody understands it. So
I don't understand why they just absolutely, once they got the prisoners back, once everybody came back, release all of the details. Was there some money involved? Exactly what did the people do that were sent back? What's going on? What's all of the details? Oh, it was a very, very complex deal. It was a lot going on in that deal. We don't really want to release the details, but it was very complex though. And we satisfied with that as a United States of American citizens that pay our tax dollars. We satisfied with that.
we have to find out, was money involved? Did we pay billions? Like last time we paid $6 billion in addition to everything else. So did we pay money? And I put something in Truth today, and it was very interesting. How much did we pay? Who are the people? How are they? Are they bad people? Are they killers? Who are the people? Now we're finding out that the people that they're getting back are serious, very serious people. I want to be nice about it. They're getting back some real killers.
Yeah, they're Russian hackers and...
You know, I did 59 people. We never gave 10 cents.
Talk about it. That's my president. I don't care what y'all say. That is my president. He said we got back 59 people, and I ain't give them 10 cents. 59 people, and I ain't give them 10 cents. 10 cents, 10 cents. 59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents. 59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents. Yo, 59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents. 59, yo, 59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents. 59 people back, give them 10 cents? Never 10 cents, never give them 59. 59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents. 59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents. 59 people. He said, listen, my record speak for itself. I got 59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents. 59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents. Yo, 59 people, 59 people, 59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents.
But they gave them back. I did a lot of people where I said, you got to give them back. I called the head of the country, whatever the country was, I got to give them back. Just give them back. Right now, well, sir, we're a system based on courts and rule of law. I said, you have no rule of law. You're the rule of law. You got to get them back. And everybody came back. We got 59, and we didn't pay money. I got
59 people, I ain't give them 10 cents. Yeah.
People back from North Korea. That's tougher than any other place to get people back. I had a good relationship with Kim Jong-un. We got people back. But, you know, when you start paying money or when you start making deals where you give, you know, the kind of people, these are really some tough people that they got back. The toughest in the world. You start doing that, and all of a sudden you have a lot of hostages taken prisoner, so to speak. And you'll have a lot of things happening. It's very bad. It's a very bad precedent.
Well, even the Wall Street Journal reported that you raised the stakes on this because during the debate, you said you better send the hostages home, and I'm going to get Evan Gershkovich home, and I expect that before I assume office. So you did raise the stakes on this.
They got a great deal. The Russians made a great deal. I'm not going to be criticizing it because it's good to have them home, but they got a phenomenal deal, and that sets a very bad precedent. Very, very bad precedent.
Ayatollah Khomeini has ordered a direct retaliatory attack on Israel. How worried should we be about this, as well as worried about a potential attack on America?
He has no respect for Biden. He had a lot of respect for me. We had no attacks. We had nothing. We never had an attack. The only little attack was on a fort. And they called me to say, we are going to be shooting some missiles at a fort. Please tell everyone to stay in place. We will not hit the fort. You remember that. They shot 18 missiles, 6 of them disassembled in air, 12 of them landed exactly as they said outside the fort, and nobody was injured in the true sense of the word, okay?
Are you worried about this retaliatory order against Israel?
Yeah, I'm worried about The people we have in office are grossly incompetent. I'm worried about World War III before I get there.
What about
And we will not have World War III if I'm there. And
there
World
are threats
War
on you right now, right? I mean, we just heard more details about Iran reportedly plotting to assassinate you.
So I put out a word that if they do that, you have to blow them off the face of the earth because you can't.
He said, I don't negotiate with terrorists. He said, listen, you cross this line, I'm going to take out your whole family. I am going to blow you off the face of the earth. No ifs, ands, buts about it. This is what I want in my president. I want my president to have some level of masculinity. I want my president to be able to speak coherently. I want my president to be feared and loved at the same time. Fear, love, and respect, it all goes hand in hand. It's the triangle. It's the triangle. It's the Phil Jackson of politics. Phil Jackson designed that just the same way that he helped Jordan, Pippen, Bill Cartwright, Will Perdue, Ron Harper, Kobe Bryant, Robert Horry, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. The same way that he designed the triangle in order to be getting all of them championships is the same way that Trump is out here moving with his triangle. Fear, love, and respect. It all goes hand in hand. If you don't fear me, you don't love me. If you don't love me, you don't respect me. How can you say you love me if you disrespect me? He said, listen, I will blow you clean off the face of the earth. What you think we got all these missiles for, man? Huh? What you think I'm playing games? That's why we not going to have no new wars, because you know better. You know I'm not going to sit here and play no games with you. See, y'all do that with them other people. You do that with Cam and Biden. You do that with me, you're going to have some problems. It's going to be some furniture moving up in this. Repercussions. It's going to be some furniture moved around in your house, in your house.
Do that. You have to blow them right off the face of the earth. And I said that. I put it out on Truth 2 days ago. I said, because there was a report to that effect, and it could very well be true. And I said, if that happens, you have to blow that country off the face of the earth, because that'll be a whole new world order. The problem we have is nobody respects Biden and nobody respects Kamala.
That's in real life. That's in real life. You know why people feel comfortable disrespecting certain people? Because they don't think that there's going to be no repercussions that come along with it. That is a life effect, a life moment. This is something that is absolutely true. There's nowhere in the world that you can tell me that people are fearing Biden and Kamala. Biden and Kamala, homie, your own son is over there sniffing coke in the White House allegedly. What would I fear you? Fear who? Fear her? Fear who? Fear you? Judge Joe Brown don't even fear Kamala. Why would Iran fear Kamala? Why would Russia fear Kamala? Why would North Korea and China? Judge Joe Brown came up here with a 3-piece blue jean suit and said that she was for the streets, man. Judge Joe Brown.
It's a big problem.
Yeah.
Pulled up in a 3-piece blue jean, 3-tone suit. The pants didn't match the jacket didn't match the shirt, but he definitely said that she for the streets, man. Is that Kamala Harris? Oh my God. She was not even worth the price of potatoes when she was in office, and I heard that she was a lousy prosecutor. Now, I was over in California, and I heard that as soon as she got a little bit heated and she was a little lazy, in order for her to go up the totem pole, she had to pull up her hemline. Now, I'm not the one that partake in women that want to talk about their hemline, but I know for a fact, and I know a hoe when I see a hoe. I know a streetwalker when I see a streetwalker. Now, why would I respect a woman that proclaims herself to be a black American, but she don't do nothing for black people except pull up her hemline when she wants to excel in her political career? Now, I don't have no respect for her, but you can. But I know for one thing's for certain and two things for sure. When I come up here with my blue jean jacket, 3-piece suit. Pants don't match the belt don't match the shirt, and the shirt don't match the jacket. I know one thing though. I may not have been looking in the mirror when I got dressed today, but I know a woman that got a weird hemline, and Kamala Harris is definitely one of those women. That's what he said. If I'm lying, I'm flying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Now, how can I parade this woman? How can I parade this woman in front of Putin? In front of Putin? In front of Vladimir Putin? How can I parade this woman? The only other person that we need to give a comment on, oh, don't worry about it. How can I parade this woman in front of Vladimir Putin when Judge Joe don't have no respect for her? Don't tell me that Judge Joe don't got no respect for you, but you sitting here with your teeth out, then you gonna be standing in front of Kim Jong-un? Shit. I can't have her over in California because the only people that don't respect her is the black community, because she said that she was smoking weed in 1986, if my memory serves me correctly, in her dorm room while locking up black people, and Tupac and Snoop Doggy Dogg wasn't even in the mix at the time. I said, Judge Joe, Jesus, I ain't expect you to hit us with the ooh-wop shebang, Judge Joe. Why would we fear Cam Cam? Who is scared of Cam Cam? Honest to God, who is scared of Cam? Man, if y'all don't think that this is the greatest morning show on the face of the earth, you smoking Cam Cam. You know what I'm saying? You got your hemline is wrong. If y'all are not hitting a like for the YouTube algorithm for the greatest morning show on the face of the earth, tell your grandmother, tell your grandfather. I don't know what Anton is going to do on a day-to-day basis, but I know one thing's for sure and two things is for certain. We got to tune in to see what he going to do. Because I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to entertain you, but I'm going to also put the medicine inside of the candy. It's truth in every single thing that I talk about, whether it's a joke or whether we dead serious, whether we embarrassed or whether we excited. It is truth. And there is no morning show on the face of this earth that is as good as this one right here, right now. That's a fact. That's a fact. You may not like me, but you're going to learn to love me. You may not like me, but you're going to learn to love me. Let me read some of these super chats, and I need to see what's going on out in these streets. Thank y'all. Thank you. P. Rothstein 216 says, we got 3 people that got 8. Of the worst people ever, plus cash considerations. It's like a bad trade deal, right? Who in the hell is America's GM got to play fired immediately? Immediately. Good God. Levi Apparel in the building says, morning, Anton. Interesting. It looks like Democrats had a Trump card, pun intended, but the debate will save it all. Okay, we're going to see. 4-5, 4-7. AD peeps, what up, though, says Chase Barnes in the building. Shout out to Chase. I appreciate you, Chase. Chat for more says, wait, he said they wouldn't have been taken on his watch, but the Marine been locked up for 6 years. That happened on his watch. Interesting. That means that Trump was having a better negotiation deal and he wasn't negotiating with terrorists. So you missed that part. No excuse lifestyle. Rocky Cage is in the building, says, what up, AD? That was a horrible deal in my opinion. Did you notice when a reporter called Trump the president? Yep, I do. Love it, brother. Wasn't always a fan of Trump. I'm not with Kamala. Definitely Trump 2024. Salute, AD. I'm glad you came over. Thank you. Thank you for not going back to the plantation. Brittany B says, 59 people and I ain't give them 10 cents. That's my new jam. 59 and I ain't give them 10 cents. 59 and I ain't give them 10 cents. Judge Joe Brown had on a Carl Canal blue jean outfit. You mean with the little, with the thing on the back, the buckle thing on the back, the gold buckle that had the Carl Canal signature on it? I had that same jacket. Mine was purple though. Mine was purple. I ain't even gonna cap. Messi in the building says, Judge Joe Brown got me and Granny in the kitchen cracking up. Y'all didn't even know it wasn't Judge Joe Brown. If you wasn't looking at the screen, you wouldn't know it wasn't him. Kara, what's up, Kara? says, I'm subscribing just to say I'm holding. And y'all need to make sure y'all hemline is right too. Pretty Boy 79 says, brother, I know I haven't said much in a while, but those stock pick profits literally got me to pay all of my family's credit cards debt. Can we get a round of applause for everybody that's in the bag chasers that took advantage of my stock picks? Can we get a round? Listen, I bought a whole 911 off of it. I bought a whole 911. I've been riding around all summer off of the stock picks. Who didn't take advantage of it inside of the Patreon? Who didn't take advantage of it inside of the Patreon? Who is not a part of Stock Club? Who is not subscribed? Who is really losing money because they're not really taking advantage of the Patreon and the bag chasers and the conversations? And we got a Stock Club coming up this weekend. I teach you the fundamentals. I tell you what you need to look for. I show you my portfolio. What more do you want from me? What more do you want from me? What do you want from me? I give you everything. I give you everything. Oh, DJ Kane said, 59 people, I ain't give them 2 cents. 59 people, I ain't give them 2 cents. But I was giving y'all dollars when I came in with pence. 2024 is the plan. Yeah. I tapped in with bands about to make America great once again. Yeah. Have a great morning, DJ Kane. Thank you for tapping in, big dog. I appreciate you. Trini Life is in the building. Says, why I keep hearing that song in my head? 59 people. I ain't getting 10 cents. 59. I ain't getting 10. 59. I ain't getting 10. What? I'm going to be at Afro Beats over here in Detroit in the next week, and we're going to be playing 59 people. I ain't getting 10. What? I ain't getting 10 cents. I ain't getting 10 cents. All 59 people, I ain't getting 10 cents. We're going to be out here throwing ones off the rooftop to 59 people. I ain't giving 10 cents. What up to everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's tapped in. We got to get to the money, y'all. We got to get to the money. We got to get through this because Anton got to jump on Fox News pretty soon. And then I got to be able to give y'all my thoughts on what's going on. But I'm gonna put a different shirt on. I got a button-up collar shirt over there, and I'll be giving y'all my perspective from a professional perspective. Yeah. Yes. I can't believe it. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy out here. I mean, why would they make that deal? That's insane. Why would they exchange this deal? And then I'm also hearing that they gave cash considerations. That's how I'm gonna be on. That's how I'm gonna be on the news. Don't worry about it. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. I gotta get my button up on. But anyways, let's go over to the money. We gotta let y'all know what's going on in these streets. And I told y'all I was gonna stay covering this. So allegedly, they paying people to leave out of California, because they want to clean up the streets. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's see what's popping.
San Francisco's mayor is trying to build a better Bay Area by making sure more people have permanent housing, including those who've been living in RVs along Winston Drive near SF State.
The city is now telling those people to move. As ABC 7 News reporter Luz Pena found out, those RV residents are one step ahead, Luz.
That's right. These RV residents knew this day was coming. On September of 2023, SFMTA's board.
Now, wait a minute. Before we get into it, do you see the difference between the news reporters over here in California? They may have some messed up streets. You may have to step over some doo-doo in San Francisco. But the one thing is for sure, and the two things is for certain, is that they're going to look different than the ones that we had over there in Chicago. I don't know what's going on in Chicago. I don't know what's happening in Chicago. Chicago got me weak. What's happening in Chicago? Look at Chicago. Y'all want to see the Chicago ones? Let me show you the Chicago ones. Check this one out. Before we get into it, hold on. Let me see. That's Chicago. That's San Francisco.
SFMTA's board of directors approved a 4-hour parking limit on Winston Drive. Today, that parking limit begins. What this means is that RVs will get parking tickets if they're not moved every 4 hours. So we found that many people just decided to park in the surrounding areas.
Hold on, Molly and Quentin, y'all doing a little bit too much personal talking inside of the chat. It's a little bit too personal talking inside of the chat. Quentin is in there? Hold on. Let me see something. You know, I pay attention to my people, and I need to know what's going on.
Well,
Quentin,
what's up?
Molly, the only person you see in the chat?
What you mean?
Why you speaking to her?
Cause she fine.
Bye, man. Get out of my phone, bro. I said, Quentin, Molly, the only person you see in the chat. I said, what you speaking to her for? Because she fine. Oh, man. All right, y'all. We got to focus. RVs kicked out of California. Let's get back. We got to focus, y'all. We get distracted over here. We do what we want to do when we want to do it.
Where there are no parking restrictions. It's the day many RV residents along Winston Drive in San Francisco have been dreading. Angela, when did you move here? ¿Cuándo te mudaste acá?
A este lugar hace 2 días.
2 days ago. So instead of moving their vehicles every 4 hours to avoid getting a ticket, we found many of them spread out throughout the area on Lake Merced Boulevard.
And that ain't even an RV, that's a bus. Dog, that's not an RV, that's a bus. Y'all parking buses on the side of the road and living in them? What the hell is going on in California and San Francisco? What in the devil? That's not an RV, that is a bus. Y'all living in buses in California? I just thought that y'all had van life. I thought that y'all was living in y'all cars. I thought that y'all was camping in the woods. I thought that y'all was stepping over doo-doo, peeing in the ocean. I did not know that y'all was out here parking whole buses on the streets and getting away with it for the last 15 years. What in the devil is happening in California? Jesus Christ.
Skyline Boulevard. One of them is Angela, a mother of 2. We haven't gotten tickets because we moved before they started ticketing. Angela did not want to show her face because she works at a nearby school. She said her husband bought the RV to go camping as a family 3 years ago. But after losing his job during the pandemic, they moved out of their apartment in Daly City, and this became their home.
Heck no. Heck no. Let me tell y'all something. I know it's bad in the streets, but you can't be doing so good that you can buy a second camper while you got a home to go camping, and then you get so down on your luck, you say, you know what, we just gonna go ahead and live in the camper, and we gonna forego having a house altogether. I can't do it. I respect y'all. I respect your ability, your survival skills, your instincts and everything like that, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I will work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days in a year, 8,760 hours straight before I ever be homeless in these streets, sleeping in my camper with a wife and a kid. And shout out to the women that be holding the men down living in campers. Listen, if these dudes can get chicks to hold them down living in campers, you ain't got no excuse. I don't want to hear no excuse from nobody saying that, oh man, I can't find a good girl. These women is holding these dudes down in campers. In school buses, LT Johnson. In school buses. Oh, no. Y'all mean y'all getting it in and y'all still having kids? That mean that you got time to have sex? So wait a minute, you having sexy time in a tent. In the school bus? No, dog. No, I can't do it. I don't even think I would be able to do such a thing. I just can't do it. The kids is right there. Listen, the kids is on the top bunk right above us. The kids are asleep in the back seat. We can't have sexy time right here. Y'all got time to have sexy time. Hey, we got to hurry up and get to Planet Fitness and take a shower before they close tonight. Because I can't get up and take a shower afterwards. I can't take a shower before it. What if you used the restroom? What if you had diarrhea that day? Jesus Christ. I'm going to be real with you. It's a tough life. What if you had diarrhea that night, but Planet Fitness is closed and your gym membership run out? How you going to be able to adjust? What you going to do? No, dog, no. It's a different type of way that you got to do this in order to feel comfortable. You got to feel comfortable coming to the bed with your eggplant out.
Recently, she was offered shelter.
Aquí en la ciudad.
The person from the city who came here to speak to us did ask me, what is holding you back? Why are you here in San Francisco? Angela said many here were given 3 choices: a shelter, 1 month of free rent from the city, and a third option to leave San Francisco. When they came here, is that they said that if I have a family member somewhere else in another state, that the city would pay for us to fly there and leave. ¿Y tú quieres hacer eso? You want to do that?
La verdad es que no tengo a ninguna familiar, pero tampoco lo quiero hacer. Otra cosa que dijeron ellos.
I don't have a family member anywhere else, and I also wouldn't want to do that. A couple RVs down from Angela, we met Carla. She moved from Winston Drive, too, with her husband and 2 daughters.
They got husbands and daughters. They got kids. They have kids, y'all. And San Francisco said, bro, you got to go. I don't know what you're going to do, but you got to get up out of here. See? I think it's these Millionaire Morning Show shows. I think it's the Millionaire Morning Show shows that eventually incentivize the people. You ain't got to go nowhere, but you got to get the heck up out of here. You ain't got to go nowhere, but you got to get the heck up out of here. Real talk. They not playing no games. 0 games is being played nowadays. They are putting the pressure on people. I didn't think that they had them in them. They said, listen, and here's the caveat, and this is the thing that y'all got to be worried about in y'all cities, all right? Especially for those of y'all that have warm cities, the Arizonas, the Las Vegas, even though it gets cold because it gets cold in the Dakota and the desert of Las Vegas, the other cities in California, and then they're going to start spreading out to the United States of America. They're going to drive to Texas. They might drive to Florida. They may be in Nashville. Atlanta sounds like a good place. It's a nice liberal place where they invite Meg Thee Stallion and Quavo to go out there and do concerts. We know that it's probably going to be blue if they keep inviting Meg Thee Stallion and Quavo out there in order to give speeches. Now it's going to start spreading to other places because what they're basically saying is that, look, either you can be in a shelter, you can make some adjustments, get on your feet, or we'll pay you to leave. You got to go. You got to go. And so when they clear it out, they coming for you.
Only my husband is working right now, and we just don't have enough money to be able to move somewhere else. The Coalition on Homelessness said the city had enough time to find solutions for these families.
I mean, it's been 4 years of Winston Drive residents, the vehicularly housed immigrant families down there, who have trusted the city to find it a safe parking site.
In a statement, SFMTA said, in part, city streets are public space where the curb is designed for public parking use, and we need to manage the sharing of the curb space as more RVs continue to park near a community center. Residents here are beginning to notice.
They're very sympathetic to these people.
That's crazy. That's insane, and that's absolutely crazy. Let me see if I can get this from another angle, because they starting to ticket these people and they getting them up out of there.
The city is taking a different approach to clearing people living in RVs, like the 100 or so people parked on Winston Drive near Lake Merced. This is what it looked like just a few days ago. But today marked a city-imposed deadline for all of them to move out to make way for a road improvement project. And it appears to have worked. This is what it looked like today, pretty much completely empty.
That's crazy.
So we sent our Kelsey Thorne out there to see.
That's crazy. They made that dog. They empty everybody out there.
Where they all went to. As it turns out, they just moved over a few streets.
So one person found out where the other person went, and then everybody followed right behind them, and you didn't actually solve the problem.
What?
Joyce has been living in an RV with her husband and dog on Zoo Road right behind the San Francisco Zoo for the past 2 years.
I mean, we ended up out here because they sold the building we lived in. You know, I'm third generation San Franciscan. My husband's third generation San Franciscan. You know, and we just can't afford $3,000 a month for rent.
Joyce says the area has always been quiet. For a long time, she and her husband were the only ones in an RV parked over here. That all changed this week.
When you drive through, it's like, oh my God, it's like so many. All this.
It's like y'all blowing up my spot. Me and my husband been over here with our dog doing what we do, doing what we want to do in peace. And I was the only one over here. And now y'all wanted to come over here and y'all want to blow up my spot because you seen my RV parked over here?
About 24 RVs now line Zoo Road. Many of them came from Winston Drive, where this week the city said it would begin enforcing a 4-hour parking limit. Now Joyce's quiet road has turned into a de facto RV park, and that has her worried the city may target this area next.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because we're kind of like hidden way back here, you know.
Joyce says thankfully she and her husband's RV is insured and doesn't have any tickets, so she feels safe that they'll be able to stay here. But she worries not everyone will be as lucky.
When you drive and you look at like a lot of those, they're not registered. Like that thing there, that belongs.
Look at that POS. Jesus Christ. I don't even know how they was able to move that thing. How was they able to move that? Is that legal? Look at that thing. Well, y'all better figure it out over there in San Francisco. Y'all better figure it out in California. Y'all better figure it out because they not playing no games. They playing 0 games and they about to clear y'all out. Let me read some of these super chats and then I got something to say to y'all. Chris Mayberry says, really cute Diddy acting up again. Q is acting up again. Shout out to Chris Mayberry. I appreciate you. Chris J in the building says, come on, AD, let my guy Quentin make it. I love Quentin. That's my dog. Adonis 1909 says, AD the wingman, Denzel voice, my ninja. Frederico Alpedrino says, Quentin, thanks to Molly, I ain't gay no more. I've been delivered. Nah, Quentin ain't never been that. That's my dog. Ardella Squirrel 88 said, did you catch all of them RVers were immigrants? I did. You know I did. Shout out to my dog Ardella. I appreciate you, big dog. And then Frederico says, they should pay homeless RV families to do highway cleanup. Oh, my bad. They gave that to illegal immigrants. Man, ain't nobody getting nothing out here in these streets. But you know what I do? You know what I do know? You know what I do know? I got to sing my swan song. I am officially today on August 2nd, 2024, year of our Lord. And I know y'all, I've been telling y'all for a long time that this has been coming. I've been saying that I've been trying to get up out of the game, but I got to leave the game before the game leaves me. I got to leave the game before the game leaves me. Any great hustler know when it's time to leave the game. And I left the game. For those of you that are not familiar, I actually did a video on the Anton Daniels channel, and maybe I should just bring that up. I did a video on the Anton Daniels channel where I basically was breaking down back in 2019. In 2019, and I did not even know that the pandemic was coming. In 2019, I retired at 37 years old from corporate America. And YouTube was not even something that was a big deal to me. It was just something that I was kicking it with. I was documenting my life. I was updating regularly and stuff like that, but it wasn't a thing. I had made my bones. I had gotten to certain levels. I had a lot of real estate property. Everything was going awesome. I was getting out of the restaurant business. And I said that I was just going to be chilling and I was going to focus on doing a Lapeef channel at the time. And so we was ramping that up. We didn't know that that was going to blow up. And I was going to focus on just living my life and enjoying my daughter and focusing on the best time of her life. You know, her most formative years as far as, because she's 16 now. But again, that was in 2019. So you got to remember, 5 years ago, I retired and I no longer was working in corporate America. All right. Fast forward. So pandemic hits and, you know, we decide, okay, you know what? We getting up out of Michigan. We about to go and move to Florida. So we lived in Miami throughout the pandemic. I think we was there for like 4 or 5 months or something like that. And it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome, right? And then we again, you know, once the weather got back good again, because we lived in Miami over the wintertime, and it was a phenomenal time. We watched the fireworks in 80-degree weather. It was great. It was great. And I loved it so much that I became almost like a second resident to Miami. It was, I found some of my people, but my heart was yearning for the city. So when we came back to Detroit, I said, this is my home and this is where I'm going to make my bones. And by that time, I had actually started really making my bones and I was exploding on YouTube and social media, whatever like that. And then a buddy of mine that I worked with in corporate America, he was actually one of my managers at the previous job at Comerica Bank where I used to work at. And he said, Anton, I want you to come in and check this out real quick and just give me some advice on how it is that I need to run this thing, because we building up a new division and we starting up a new information technology segment. And I want you to tap in and kind of give me some insight on what it is that I need to do. So I said, absolutely. I maintained a good relationship with him. So I came in and I was kicking it with him. And I checked it out and I said, listen, this is what I would do for here. These are the type of people that I would hire over here. This is how I would run this part of the organization. And I think that y'all would absolutely thrive. He said, really? I said, absolutely. Y'all would thrive. And so we just kicking it and I'm hanging out in his office and then I'm visiting. Then he said, listen, what's the number? That's exactly what he said to me. He said, what's the number? I said, what number? He said, what's the number that you need in order for you to come back into the game? I need you to come back like Jordan, 45. I said, I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it. I said, the number that y'all going to have to give me, and it's so funny. Y'all remember that video where I had with y'all where I told y'all I was going back to corporate America? And he said, what's the number, bro? And I said, man, listen, I can't do that, bro, because I don't even want to. The requirements is more than a number. He said, all right, well, name your terms. I said, I can't go back into the office because it's going to affect what I got going on. And I need that freedom to be able to move around the way that I want to move around. He said, what else? I said, I want the majority of my package to be based off of equity into the company. And I don't really care about the base salary. I only want the equity. He said, what else? I said, I need the starting bonus will be crazy. And my compensation package has to be crazy, but it has to be tied to my performance. He said, what else? I said, what else? He said, what else? I said, so I gave him a big number. I ain't even tell it to him. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. And he was like, done. I said, man, stop playing games, bro. He said, done. Just tell me when you want to start. So then I came on here. Y'all remember? I came on here and I said, listen, bro, I'm going back into having a job. They gave me an offer that I couldn't refuse and they let me name my terms and I get to pick my own people. And y'all, absolutely, it was a lot of people that absolutely killed me. They went off. They said, I can't believe it. If you are an entrepreneur, why would you ever go back to working for the man and all of this stuff? And then I went on to Patreon and I showed y'all my W-2 and the bag chasers got it. They got it. I showed y'all my W-2 from, I think it was only like, how long was it? 4 or 5 months? It might have been 6 months or something like that. And I showed y'all those 6-figure W-2s. It's still up. The video is still up in the Patreon. I showed y'all my W-2s and everything of what I was making. But I also taught y'all inside of the Patreon how we keep the majority of it and how we remove ourselves from having to give it to the federal government. So it was a beautiful thing because I never had to go into the office. I think I went into the office 2 or 3 times for the entirety of my tenure there. It might have been more than that. But it can't be any more than 4 or 5 times. But all I remember is 2 or 3 times going into the office. And I made a ton of money. I made a boatload of money. It was insane. And then, of course, you get all of the little the extra benefits that come along with it, the healthcare coverage, the life insurance. We would max out, and I would show y'all how I was maxing out the 401k every single year. Actually, it wasn't even a 401k. We was maxing out the Roth 401k. So we would pay the taxes ahead of time, max out the Roth 401k so that it can grow tax-free for the rest of our life. So we took advantage of every single benefit. And then after like a year or two, I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm getting out the game. And they would make me another offer. And we would renegotiate, and they would give me a crazy bag. And then earlier this year, I said, man, listen, I just don't have the capacity. We ramping up. We building bigger channels. I show y'all what my deposits are. I show y'all what I make. We started building houses instead of just buying houses cash. You guys know I have 0 debt. I have 0 mortgages on anything. And so we run it up. We absolutely run it up. And so I retired at 37. 37 years old, I initially retired. Came back into the game. 5 years later, since my first retirement, I've made up in my mind that I'm done. And there's some other things that I can tell y'all that I will tell y'all later on in the year. But my tentative date that I'm planning on leaving is at either the end of September, because I want to make sure that the organization is good and that the transition goes smoothly, So we're targeting the end of September or possibly the end of December, right? End of September or the end of December. So right now, technically, I am still employed, but my swan song is coming. When I leave, after I leave, I am going to then tell you guys and show you exactly what I did in the organization I work for. I could not put it on a part of my LinkedIn. I could not announce it because as I continued to grow in this social media space, I was smart enough to realize, listen, everything ain't for everybody and you don't need to tell what it is that you're doing because people are going to dox you. They're going to try to figure out what you do. And it was the smartest move that I've ever done in my life. So we ran up a bag. We have one less stream of income. It doesn't really matter because we never even use the money. And now I'm in a space of my life where basically I'm free. But the question that you have to ask yourself is there an amount of money that you would take in order to go back to corporate America? Is there an amount of money that Anton Daniels would take to go back into corporate America? And to that, my friends, I say absolutely. 100%. 100%. Obviously, the other deals and the fact that I don't want to be there and all of this other type of stuff and the visibility and all of that stuff, that would have to be worked out. But as of right now, honest to God, in my heart, I don't ever plan on going back into corporate America. I cannot see it. I will, again, give y'all the details of why I'm deciding to leave at this time. I can't share the details because if I share the details, then you guys would be able to figure out where I work. And I work for a very, very big corporation. And you guys would know where I work because you would be able to put together the context clues. And I don't want to share that right now because I want to get all of my money and I want to get all of my payouts. And I want to meet, my thresholds in order to get that big bonus. And I want my equity to vest the way that it's supposed to vest. And I don't need to be doxxed. But my point is that everybody needs to have an exit strategy. And in order to have an exit strategy, you need to be in a position of power. Most people are independent or interdependent on one source of income in order for them to survive. Most people don't plan until it's too late or they're forced out or they're laid off for their swan song. Most people don't even believe in having multiple sources of income outside of doing something from an entrepreneurial perspective. They don't believe in having two jobs. They don't believe in working corporate and building your business at the same time. The goal is to get to the bag and the goal is to get to the money. That's the goal. Don't matter how you get it as long as it's not illegal. How you start to evaluate your time is you look at how much you make per year divided by 8,760, and then you take that number and you try to figure out how it is that you can increase what an hour is worth. And that hour is based off of every waking moment. The reason why we pick 8,760, that's the amount of hours in a year. You divide the amount of money that you make by the amount of hours in a year. That's how much your time is worth, whether you're sleeping or whether you're working. And so the value of your time needs to increase based off of whether or not you think that things are relevant. You might have to trade out some people you hang around. You might have to add another job. Then you can start doing a cost-benefit analysis to figure out, okay, is this business worth me spending my time on, even if it's profitable? Because I'm losing money over here by not nurturing this thing. And instead, I'm just focusing on the fact that I still open up a business or I still have a business. Every business is not worth keeping. So then you have to create an exit strategy so you can focus on the thing that actually generates you more revenue, which in turn then increases the value of your time. Do y'all get what I'm saying? I seen somebody sent me something and it was some young dudes, some young idiots, right? And the reason that I know that they're idiots is not that they're smart. They're not smart. But it's the fact that I know that they're not wise. And instead of seeking insight and understanding, let me tell you something, bro. Y'all in y'all 20s, I'm in my 40s. You're in your 20s, I'm in my 40s. When motherfuckers was richer than me, and I still got mentors in my life, regardless of how smart I thought I was wise enough to listen to them because it was something that they can teach me. I seen one fat idiot, and he said that he was a banker. Do you know that I know every single thing there is to know about a bank and every single division? Mortgages, investment, retail, information technology, services. I can break a bank down like the back of my hand. And that's why when I talk to y'all or I speak to y'all or I try to give y'all insight and information, even from a stock perspective or from an investment perspective or from a job perspective, I can break it down in its entirety. But these young idiots and these dummies are so focused on trying to be right instead of trying to be rich. These young dudes are so stupid that they focused on trying to be right instead of trying to be rich. I'm rich. That's why I show my deposits inside of the Patreon. That's why I don't mind showing my W-2s. That's why I teach people how it is that they can leverage the information that I have in order to not go through what it is that I went through in order to get to it faster. I made more millionaires than some of your favorite people that you think that you following. Why you think people love me and they support me so much on this platform? It's not just because I'm well-versed in politics or whatever is going on in relationships. I understand how it all comes back down to the money. I understand how it all comes back down to the money. And so I say all this to say that your life has to be a reflection of the thing that you advocate for. Don't talk it unless you've already accomplished it. Project it so that you can live it. Humble yourself for the people that you're supposed to humble yourself in front of so you can get the information and then be able to run it up. It's not a game. My life is a real life movie. I actually live it in real life. Show you the receipts. I'm actually building houses. I'm finishing my first house build from scratch. No loans, no mortgages, no none of that. No hard money loans, no finessing. We don't got no courses to sell you. None of that. I'm finishing my first house in the beginning of September. We already done broke ground on the second one. I just bought the land in order to build my compound. I showed y'all that on my other channel. And we're going to run it up. We're going to run it up. So this is my first initial announcement just to let y'all know that I am having life changes. I've always documented my life. I've always showed y'all and brought y'all along for the journey. Hopefully you guys continue to see value in what we do here and my transparency. I take you through the problems. I take you through the troubles. I show you the successes. I show you the cars. I show you the properties. I show you what it is that I do for a living. I show you the deposits. I show you my portfolio. I show you what I look for when I'm looking to invest in a company. I break it down all the way down from a C student's perspective. And if this young guy that was born in Detroit, Michigan on Green Lawn between 8 Mile and 7 Mile, Norfolk Wyoming and Livernois, born and raised in the city of Detroit, came up in the 80s, the 90s made me, caught the bus to school, been married for 20 years, has been able to really leverage all of the information in order to become a decamillionaire. And we really chasing that $30 million because the millionaire status is the net worth. I want it in cash so that I can show y'all what to really do with it. And then we leveraging every single piece of visibility in order to market and promote ourselves effectively so that we can reach the biggest audience possible. You can do it. You absolutely can do it. You 100% can be successful. Don't let nobody tell you that you got to finesse the system. Don't ever put your life or your freedom on the line in order to get some money. It's a right way to do things and it's a wrong way to do things. Don't ever take shortcuts. Don't ever make sacrifices. I have the option to do what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I choose to still be in the grind, to still be in the mire, to still work my butt off because I got things that I want to accomplish. The work don't stop here. The work just beginning. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I think that y'all are the greatest audience on earth. And I'm looking forward to continue to take this journey with y'all. Let me go ahead and read these super chats, and I'm going to get y'all up out of here because I got to prepare for something and take care of some business. Wealth Building Journey says, congrats for going out on top. Walking away, my swan song. Thank you, my friend. I get a little choked up sometimes too. Congrats, AD. Shout out to Chris. I appreciate y'all. And shout out to everybody that show up in person and show me love. Brian Kendrick is in the building, says, congrats from an OG, keep shining and grinding. Yep. I ain't going to get pushed out the door. I'm absolutely going to walk away when I'm on top. What up, though, AD? You an entertaining dude. Thank you, my friend. And hopefully you get some gems in there while you on top of there. Miss Moji, I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Tech Coach Ralph says, check out the AD-inspired time cost calculator available in both. The app does the math for you. Shout out to Tech Coach Ralph. I appreciate you. Make sure y'all tap into the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent Patreon videos. Moji, my rich friend. Well done, Anton. You are greatly out here in Los Angeles. The 60-year-old loves your insight, passion, and keep going. Thank you, Moji. I appreciate you also. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got after hours tonight. After hours is tonight, so we rocking out on that. We got a lot of videos to work on and drop inside of the Patreon, so I want to get that edited and dropped for y'all quickly. Stock Club is this weekend, so make sure y'all tap in. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. That's rocking. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. And we only at the tip of the iceberg. If y'all have not subscribe to the channel and then follow me on all of my social media platforms, and those links is in the description, you're missing out. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at y'all tonight. Peace.